want to put that in context. So you're talking about one of the strategies is raising the prices. This was a $2,200 product when there were several other competitors in the market, all the way down to the $249 price point. This is not a product that people turn over. This is not an iPhone that people turn over every 2 years. This is not one of those kinds of products. Now let's get into viability. What was your true business model? How many of these did you think you were going to sell? What was the penetration rate that you thought you were going to get? And what was the reoccurring revenue that you thought you were going to get that would justify this valuation or these expenditures? It's kind of bizarre. Yeah. This is what was odd about the business model, is that they were selling these bikes, this hardcore product, $2,200 a pop, which has a limited market. You have to have the space to do it. You have to have the time to do it. You have to have the willingness. You have all of these kinds of segments, slice of the market that you have to penetrate. And then your subscription is tied to the ownership of that bike. You should have bought in Barry McCarthy very early to know that the only viability in your business is in the subscription, and therefore you should have led with subscription from the beginning. It should have always been anybody can subscribe, but if you did that, then that would have been a bet against your bike, and that's probably why they didn't do it. Someone was in a room and said, if we open the subscription to anybody, nobody would buy the bike, the company's core purpose, which is everybody's going to own a bike. That was their ambitious goal, overly ambitious in my opinion. To have a goal like that, everyone will one day have a bike in their house.
The median household for the United States is like $50,000. Asking someone to take something like 5% of annual budget and putting it on a bike didn't really make sense.
I do think they made the right strategic decision in choosing a Barry McCarthy. What does Barry McCarthy need to do to correct this, in your opinion?
I think the cuts to customer service and the white glove delivery service is actually possibly a mistake, because I think this is a luxury. The physical product is a luxury product. And for that type of price, you need to continue to maintain a luxury experience. One of the things I thought that was best about Peloton is that I didn't have to think about it. Once I ordered it, all I had to do is schedule my date, and then a big burly human, I said human because big burly people come in all sizes, shapes, colors, and genders. A big burly person was going to bring this to my house, set it up. I didn't have to think about it. It's not like IKEA, which gives me headaches just thinking about going to IKEA. It was just going to be perfect, and I did not have to think about it. And now they're taking the one value add that they had versus every other product that I have looked at. It's actually a mistake to think that that's the problem. The actual hardware sales will be a very small percentage of what the actual business should be.
If they are going to continue down this path of producing hardware, tying back to the news that they're raising the prices, but they're also changing the services around that. If this white glove service was your differentiator, changes to that service could change the desirability of the product. Would people still want to pay $2,200 knowing that they had to assemble the product themselves? The other sub-question to that, will you have to change the manufacturing of that bike so that it is more accessible to a home user to be able to assemble, i.e. going back to how IKEA designs their products? What does that do to the quality of the product if you're designing it for home assembly and not expert assembly? I think that also changes the desirability. That would also have to change the price point. If those things are true, that you'd have to change the price point and bring it down to the equilibrium or the middle of where this is, which is somewhere around $700 for the bike if you want to stay in that business. Peloton is one of those products that if it's accessible, then I want it. If it's not, I'm going to look the other way. And it's one of those products that you have to ask, if people have the opportunity to look away, if you F up on something and people have the opportunity to look the other way, will they ever look back? Are you so good that they will ever look back? And there's not a lot of companies that can have a gaffe in their customer relationship and come back from that.